I'm moved into, uh, so I slowly moved into a positive thinking. And now I can say that sometimes I also have miraculous thoughts where things get manifested once the thought is released. So after listening to all this and understanding, I got a clarity that I have to focus on engineering, and I continued pursuing my studies, and I never failed in any subject once I started practicing meditation. And also I got more opportunities when it comes to work. So since I have got so much benefits by practicing meditation, I started teaching meditation in schools and colleges in India, and also started organizing vegetarian rallies. So vegetarian rallies is nothing but around 100 to 150 people we gathered together, and we spread awareness about the importance of vegetarianism, importance of consuming only vegetarian food. So those kind of activities I was I was taking part in, and I was organizing those events. After that, I also started teaching meditation to youngsters. So right now in India, there is a youth wing of PSSM that is called PAIMA, which is Pyramid Youth for Meditation and Ahimsa. The main intention of this youth wing is to see that each and every youngster starts meditation from the very young age, so that he will understand about himself and transform his life. So we have started teaching meditation to all schools, all colleges, and in all corporates. So these are the activities that I've been doing for the past few months. And currently, I'm working as a software engineer in Bangalore. I'm living with my family, and also doing. I can say I'm spreading meditation and creating awareness about vegetarianism through the youth wing called Paima. So this is a brief introduction about myself, and I think we can start meditation now. Ma'am, can we start meditation now?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes. So, friends, since you have already been practicing meditation for so many days now, I believe that you all know how to meditate. But still, if there are any new beginners who have joined today, I'll just share briefly how to sit in meditation. So you can choose any comfortable place and make sure that your body is comfortable. You can take your back support. It's not that your body have to be straight. You can take back support, because only when your body is comfortable, your body will support to do meditation, my dear friends. So once your body is comfortable, you can just lock your fingers and cross your legs and close your eyes and observe the normal, natural breath. So the importance of breath happens in the present moment, but our mind always stays in the past or in the future. So the moment you start observing your breath, the mind comes and becomes still in the present moment. So the ultimate goal of meditation is to go into a thoughtless state. If anyone asks what is meditation, I can just give a simple formula. Meditation is equal to empty mind. Meditation is equal to thoughtless state. This is a simple formula. So by practicing meditation, we reach to a thoughtless state that is called the meditative state. So our goal has to be to reach to that state, my dear friends. Even if you get any thoughts, just be an observer. Don't try to control your mind or control your thoughts. Just let your mind free. Just let all the thoughts go. Just be an observer. If I want to give you a better example, like how a security guard or a watchman will just watch people coming in and going out of the gate. Similarly, just be an observer. Just be a witness of what's happening within you, right? So, and one more thing I would like to share here is, like generally we don't know where to, where is our mind. We can say this is here our brain is located, but where is our mind, right? So one of the masters said and shared this thing. if you want to observe, if you want to see your mind anytime, if you want to see your mind, just close your eyes. The moment you close your eyes, you can see your mind. You can see what's happening in your mind. So if you want to see your mind, just close your eyes and you have mind in front of you, right? So even in meditation, when we close our mind, when we close our eyes, we get all the thoughts that are already running in our mind, right? So as we start observing our breath, gradually the mind goes into a thoughtless state, zero state. At that state, abundance amount of cosmic energy flows into us through Brahmarandra, and it cleanses all the Nadi Mandala or nervous system that we have within us, or the astral or etheric body. And that's how the healing process and many different processes happens through the practice of meditation. So friends, without any delay, let's start the practice of meditation. Let's have a practical, experiment and practical experience of meditation right now, my dear friends. So let us start the meditation. And I request everyone, if anyone are wearing spectacles, please remove the specs and keep it aside. So sit in a comfortable position at a comfortable place, and lock your fingers and cross your legs, close your eyes, just observe your normal, natural breath. Your breath is the key, my dear friends. Your breath is the bridge which connects you to your higher consciousness. Just be with your breath. Let us enjoy our meditation with wonderful music, my dear friends. Please do not open your eyes until I say okay. Just be with your breath. Just observe your breath, my dear friends. Just bring your attention back on your breath. bring your attention back on your breath, my dear friends. Just go with the breath. Just observe the breath. Natural, normal breath, my dear friends.
Just be with your normal, natural breath, my dear friends. Bring your attention back on your breath. Last 2 minutes, my dear friends. Just be with your normal, natural breath. Just observe your breath for the last 2 minutes. Last 10 seconds, my dear friends. Just be with your normal, natural breath. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Please place your hands on your eyes, my dear friends, for 5 seconds. Let all the energies get back into yourself. Gently look into your hands and open your eyes, my dear masters. Let us thank our Guru, Brahmarshi Pitamaha Patriji, for teaching us this wonderful Anapanasati meditation through which we are experiencing a lot of transformation in our own selves, my dear masters. So let us once again be thankful and pay gratitude to him. So I think if anyone wants to share their meditation experience, they can raise the hand before we get into the topic. Masters, you can share your meditational experience, or I will start today's topic for now. Okay, masters, I have created or I have prepared a presentation on today's topic. So I'll start the presentation. Let's have a discussion about today's topic for next 10 minutes. Then we can have a Q&A session, my dear friends.
So friends, as you are seeing, today's topic is who are you? So in this presentation, I'm just trying to give some information about the concept called who are you, right? We all few might have this question or few might not have this question, like who am I, from where I've come, like what am I? So few people might have this question. So I'm just trying to give a small presentation about this topic today. So generally we relate ourselves with the body, that, I am male, I'm female, or, I have bright complexion of skin tone, or I have a dark complexion of skin tone. And that in the society or in different parts of the world, people are, treated as blacks and whites. So we are identifying ourselves as a body, right? I'm a male, I'm a female. So all these things are related to the body. So I want you all to question, like, are you really the body, right? The body is made out of 5 elements, that is air, water, fire, earth, and space. So once we die, again, this body is going to, going back into those 5 elements. So I want you all to question yourself, are we really this body? And why are we having so much of differences because of the skin tone? And why are we having so much of differences because of the gender issues, like male or female? So I want all of you to question, are you really this body? And the next comes the mind. So mind is nothing but it has a bundle of thoughts, which is being, fed by the society. From the time we are, grown or born and brought up in certain society, our mind is developed based on the society and based on the things that are fed by our parents or our friends. So based on that, we have created certain opinions, certain belief systems, right? Is whatever the facts or whatever beliefs you carry in your mind, is it really truth, or is it really giving you direction to know who you are? So I want you all to question about this topic, my dear friends. So just question yourself, what all thoughts you have in your mind. Is it really taking you towards the truth? And also, are you the body? Just question yourself, right? And next, most of us want to be successful. We want name and fame. So that name and fame is creating identity subconsciously within us. So what are you getting out of name and fame? You're getting a lot of recognition, but is it leading towards the truth? Name and fame, yeah, it's really good to be famous. It's really good to have a good name, right? But still, is it leading you to the path of truth? Is it giving you permanent happiness, permanent joy? Is it giving that? So all these are questions that we can ask ourselves. Once I get the name and fame, what next? Is it really giving me happiness? And when it comes to a professional career, we all have, certain designations, certain status in the society. Like I'm a driver or president or engineer or doctor. So again, there we are creating a false identity of our true selves. Yes, that is identity. You are a doctor, you might have some name. That's just the identity in the society, to live in the society. But that's not really who you are, right? So please question yourself, my dear friends. And also, we recognize ourselves with the financial status. I am rich, or the other person might be poor. So all these comparisons, all these identities are being created in our mind, right? So are we really this identities that we have created? And what does every being want? What does every human being want? Every person wants to be happy. Every person wants to be joyful as a child, and everyone wants to be successful. So even if they are successful, still they want a peaceful life. and everyone wants a good health, and everyone wants to have a beautiful magical relationships, right? So these are the requirements, basic and most important requirements of each and every human being. So till now I've questioned 2 points, like who are we really and what do we want? Who are we and what do we want? So these are the two things I really want you to think about. And also, we all understood what we really want. What we really want is happiness, joy, success, peaceful life, health, and magical relationships, right? So we want this. If you want this, if you want all these things, then we have to really understand who we are, right? So I'm just sharing one quote from Rumi. Peaceful is the one who is not concerned with having more or less, unbound by name and fame. He is free from sorrow of the world and mostly from himself. So a person who is not really concerned about having more or less, or who is not connected or bounded to name or fame, he will be free from sorrow and he'll be free from himself. He'll be free from his mind and he'll connect to his consciousness where he'll always be happy. And how are we going to connect to it? And how are we going to reach to that state is what we are going to see further, my dear friends. So when you know who you are, you can create your life according to your choices, because each and every moment, the experience that we are experiencing is based on the choice that we make, right? So first, let us understand who we are and let us make right choices and enjoy the life and really create what we want in this beautiful life, my dear friends. So the brief understanding of who we are can be seen in this slide here. So we are nothing but a combination of energy, consciousness, and wisdom. So when it comes to energy, each and everything has energy, and without energy, nothing exists. Energy is the basic and core fundamental requirement for each and every existence, my dear friends. Even if you see the earth, it's rotating, and each and everything is happening based on energy. Even if I want to speak, I need energy. Even if I want to make a small movement of my hand, I need energy. So we are nothing but a combination of energy, and we have a consciousness that is operating, that is driving this body. The consciousness is using this body as an instrument, and we are experiencing life. The consciousness is getting all the wisdom through the experiences. And we are also a wisdom, which is nothing but a collective experiences of our past life. Collective experiences filtered from the past life is nothing but a wisdom. So we are combination of energy, consciousness, and wisdom, right? So we are all energy beings, we are all conscious beings, and we are all wisdom. We have wisdom to which we are operating. So when we meditate, we connect to this beautiful understanding. We come to this understanding that we are energy, consciousness plus wisdom together in the body. We are a collective combination of energy, consciousness, and wisdom in this body, my dear friends. Right? So we are nothing but an energy magnet, like how a magnet attracts iron towards it. Similarly, based on our energy, based on the vibration and frequency, we attract things into our life, right? The more and more we practice meditation, we increase our energies. When you increase your energy, the vibration, the frequency of your being changes. So when your being changes, you start attracting things according to the choices you make. So if we have, like how we attract everything in life, if we have a weak aura, if we have very less energy levels in us, and if we are vibrating in a very low frequency, then we'll have weak aura which attracts negativity. Whereas if we are practicing meditation and if we are increasing our energy levels, and if we are vibrating in higher frequency, then we attract positivity and abundance, my dear masters. And so how do we increase our energy and how do we connect to our consciousness, right? We understood that we are energy and we are consciousness. Starting from who are you, we questioned ourselves whether we are body or whether we are the mind or whether we are the name and fame or whether we are the status or designation that we have. Then finally, we are slowly coming into conclusion that we are energy, consciousness, and wisdom beings, right? And how do we connect to that consciousness and how do we increase our energy? So that's where meditation comes in place, my dear friends. When we practice meditation, we increase our energy. When we increase our energy, we increase our frequency and vibration level, which will ultimately connect to our consciousness. We connect to our true higher consciousness, which is a true guide and which has all the information about our life and about our past lives. Each and every information is stored in the consciousness, in the higher consciousness, through which we can lead a very happy, peaceful, and joyful life. The higher consciousness is our true friend, my dear friends. And when we meditate and empty our mind, the cosmic energy flows into us, which activates the energy system and enhances our frequency and vibration. So gradually we will connect to our consciousness and get clarity about this life and about our true self. So meditation plays a very, very vital role in our life, in understanding ourselves, in knowing who we are, right? And this particular presentation was an inspiration by a great master, Ramana Maharshi. So Ramana Maharshi says only one thing, that all that is required is to realize the self, is to be still. Be still in the sense, just not being like a statue. It's just being like, be still in your mind. Be in a thoughtless state. Be an observer. So when you are being as an observer, when you are in a thoughtless state, you will realize your true self. So that's the greatest message given by greatest Grand Master Ramana Maharshi. Whoever goes near him, he used to question only one thing: do you know who you are? So if the person answers, my name is so and so, I'm from Bangalore. He says, I didn't ask your name. I didn't ask you're from which place. I'm asking, who are you? Do you know who are you? Until the person says that I am soul or I am this consciousness, he would continue asking the questions so that the person will go on a path of self-realization. So I salute to the great Grand Master Ramana Maharshi for igniting spirituality in so many youngsters and so many of human beings on this planet Earth. So ultimately, I would like to end this presentation with a beautiful quote that you are the sky and everything else is just the weather. So whatever is happening, whatever ups and downs or whatever things are happening in your life is just like a weather. It just keeps passing, my dear friends. Ultimately, you are the sky and you are just a witness. How sky above is witnessing all the beautiful things happening on the earth. Similarly, the consciousness within is witnessing the beautiful things that you are experiencing in this life, my dear masters. Yeah. So thank you so much for listening to this presentation. And right now, if you have any questions or anything to share, you can raise your hand and we can have a Q&A and we can end this session, my dear friends. Yes, Subhadra ma'am, please unmute and share your experience.
Hello, sir. Thank you. This is a nice class. See, my doubt here is, you said that we are a collection of three components, energy, consciousness, and wisdom.
Yes.
My question is like, how we can improve our wisdom? You said that like it is a collection of, past lives and all. So if we wanted to improve the, improve the wisdom, so
wisdom is nothing but, we have two words. One is wisdom and knowledge.
Mhm.
Knowledge is nothing but a collection of information, which is called knowledge. Wisdom is in if you in English, or sorry, in Telugu or in Kannada, we say that in Telugu we call anubhavame jnanamu. In the sense, it means that
Yes.
your experience
Yes.
brings wisdom.
Yes.
And
So
we have
that's where my question, like in a shorter life incarnations, like to acquire more wisdom, like so how we can, you know, so it's just
Yes,
through.
ma'am. So that's why
I
our
think,
Guru
yeah.
Patniji has suggested, first thing is meditation. In meditation, you will have different experiences, and also reading books.
Oh
Since
yes, Svadhyaya. So you say,
yes,
okay.
Svadhyaya and Sajjana Sangatya.
Mhm.
Since we have a, maybe we might have a lifespan of 100, 150, or how many ever years we want, that's our choice. But ultimately, if we take a rough, lifetime of 100 years, you can't experience everything in one lifetime. So, and if you want to understand different experiences by reading life stories of different masters, you can also get the wisdom by reading the books. So when you are reading the book, that master presence will be there when you're reading the book of a particular master. So even by reading books, you get a lot of wisdom. And there is a quote called, reading books is a swiftest way for the enlightenment.
Mhm.
Right?
So,
And also
okay,
Sajjana
yeah.
Sangatya, when you are
Yes.
listening to others' experience, and when you are sharing your experience, listening and sharing of experiences also will give us a lot of wisdom, ma'am.
Mhm. Okay, so here I'm getting another question. Sorry to add another one to this. Yeah, you said like, okay, yeah, through Svadhyaya, yes, by reading we can,
And
learn
also,
more things. And how about like uh, arts and skills, like music,
yes.
dance, these kind of skills. So do we need to experience them, or like, like, is there any
Yes,
other way
yes,
to
ma'am.
learn?
No, actually, according to my understanding, we are come here on this planet Earth to experience. Earth is nothing but a beautiful, I can say it as a school or a college, or it's a university where we are coming and experiencing. We are having different designs. We are designing our life according to our choices, and we are experiencing whatever we want in this lifetime, so that that experience will be turned as a wisdom. Let it
Yeah.
be anything, whether it is dance or music or anything. Each and everything is an experience. Each and everything is a learning.
So it must be experienced, these kind of art.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, definitely, ma'am.
Okay, yeah, great. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. So, anyone else, masters?
Sorry, sir. I think Manjula actually, due to some issues, she left the Zoom session. So she asked me to lead the thank you note. So I'm just, yeah, friends, like anybody having any doubts? Yeah, no hand raising. Yeah, Vinay Kumar. Yes, Vinay Kumar, go ahead. Please unmute yourself and please ask your question.
Yeah. Thank you, Shobro. It was a wonderful session. Actually, if anyone asks someone, "Who are you?" they may sort of tell the body or whatever the name fame, but the another answer which we get is, "I'm a soul." But what the actual soul is, that is the point which you have explained it today so well, that we are the combination of energy, consciousness, and wisdom. That was a beautiful presentation and a great class, bro. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Vinay.
Thank you.
Yes, anyone else, my dear friends? Yes, ma'am. I think we can end the session. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
ma'am, and,
Thank you for, yeah, it's our privilege to have you here today. Hopefully we'll see you again in future. Thank you, sir. And thank you
Sure.
all dear friends for this, for attending this today's meditation and this class. So again, we'll see you all tomorrow at the same time. Thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am.
Have a good
Thank you for
night.
wonderful
Thank you, sir.
opportunity. Thank you so much.
Thank you.